Yo, this is Selric, and I am back with another Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel stream. This will be a small stream because I gotta do something in a little bit, but I'll be right back and I'll be streaming again. But I'm gonna test my audio real quick to see if my sound is clear. So just give me one sec, really fast. See if sound is cool. My audio is good. So, I made some changes to my deck because also, let me backtrack. The last 17 or what was it, 7 minutes of my last stream, it was cut off because something went wrong. I don't know what happened. But in that last 7 minutes, I was explaining the simultaneously equation cannon. So I'm going to go back to that real fast. So let me scroll down and explain this card again. I believe I left off saying if my opponent negates this card. So, like I explained in the last video, to me this is probably the most powerful trap card in the game. And basically, it can banish your opponent's entire field. It's a board wipe. It's pretty much a game over card if you do it at the right time. And when you're trying to get this card off, you have to literally watch their cards, just keep counting their cards, because in my experience using this card, it's easy to banish not banish, it's easy to choose a level 8, level 7, or level 10, so you can get that full board wipe banish. So I'll just go over the card again. Banish one fusion monster and 2 exceed monsters with the same rank from your extra deck whose combined level and ranks equal the total number of cards in both players' hands and on the field. Then you can apply this effect. Return 2 of your banished monsters to the extra deck, 1 exceed and 1 fusion, whose combined level and rank equal the level or rank of 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, then banish all cards they control. So, when you use this card, your extra deck is obsolete, meaning there's no point of using no card in your extra deck. You really shouldn't. I've seen some games where people are using Typhon, they're using Little Knight, so they at least have something to get something out, or they use Chaos Angel. In my opinion, you don't gotta use none of that. Just build a strong deck, and your extra deck is all ammo for SEC, simultaneously equation cannons. So you have to choose 1 fusion and 2 exceed. So for an example, if your opponent, between you and your opponent, if y'all have, I said 10 in the last stream, so I would say 12. Say it's 12 cards between the both of y'all, or it's 12 cards combined between the both of y'all. So let's say you have 3 cards in your hand, 3 cards in the field, and one of those 3 cards is a set SEC. Then your opponent has, let's say they have 5 cards on the field and 1 card in their hand. right? That's 12. You have to banish a fusion and two ranks that equals up, and level one ranks that equals 12. So running this card, the spreadsheet I saw online and what I seen in spectator games on Duel Live on my Master Duel game, people run a level 2 fusion, level 3 fusion, level 4, level 5, level 6. Some people run level 1, I don't run that. Then you run two rank 2 exceeds, two rank 3s, two rank 4s, two rank 5s, and two rank 6s. It doesn't matter what those cards are. So you gotta equal 12, right? So basically, you banish one fusion to make 12. You can do it in multiple ways. Because with this card, it literally just lets you activate it. And in real life, I think you have to have the right amount of cards to have like a legal activation, on what I've heard people say online. So on Master Duel, you can just activate it whenever and banish whatever. It doesn't mean the second effect will go off. So to get 12, I would banish this level 4 fusion, and then I would banish two rank 4 exceeds. 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals 12, right? So I'll banish these two. Then after that, to apply the second effect, return two of your banished monsters to the extra deck, one exceed and one fusion whose combined level and rank equal the level or rank of one face-up monster your opponent controls. So when I return two of my banished monsters, basically I'll return a level 4 fusion and a rank 4 exceed. And that's if they have a level or rank 8 monster. I forgot to say that in the beginning, but that's the scenario. There's 12 cards between the both of y'all combined, and your opponent has one face-up monster whose level or rank is 8. So when I return my two banished monsters, I'll return the fusion and the rank, which is the rank 4, the level 4, that equals 8. I return those. Then after that resolves, their entire field gets banished. And honestly, I will show you a game with that, so you all pretty much know how it is. But it's pretty, in my opinion, it's pretty self-explanatory. But you can always miss timing with this card, so you still have to watch it. The worst thing that can happen is that you just wasted a card. You don't waste your life points unless you're using rollback, and you're just going -1 on the field if you mess up the equation. That's all it really is. But if you get it right, your opponent might just quit. Depending on when you did it and what chain you did it on, if it's the first card in the chain, then hopefully your opponent does nothing, and you accounted for all the ways where they can change the equation, because that's what some people do. And I'll show you that in the game I played. It's a casual game, so it's not that big of a deal. But I play casual games just to like practice cards and stuff. So you'll see in this casual game I'm about to show you, where the guy, he seen what was going on and he tried to change everything. But this guy literally, he kept playing the game, but honestly I was top decking, to be honest. So I think won by luck, because I was really top decking my cards, and I won off of a very conditional way. But you will see that in this game I'm about to show you. So just give me a sec. I'll show you that game. But one quick thing about my deck, I realize I do need going second power, and like I said, I'm not running any Max C's or Ash Blossoms, and there's no shade to anybody who does. I just don't like using them. I want to just draw my cards, and of course Max C can give me that. But I don't like having a bunch of hand traps in my hand. It just gets annoying when all I have is hand traps and I don't have any type of starter or a way to start my combos or start my field off. And all I have is hand traps. But I do love having a lot of defense, which is very nice. It's just that if you run hand traps, of course, they help you win in this meta. And they have so many uses because they're tuner, most of them, and they're 3 stars. So if you have a level 7 monster, that's an easy Baron or a Chaos Angel. So there's nothing wrong with hand traps. I just like I just like not using them. I like doing my sample draws where I can just see my combos and what I could actually do. Hold on, give me 1 second. Someone's calling me. So what? Okay. All right. So I just got that call. That was sooner than I thought. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to end this real fast, but I'm gonna be back to show you all this game. But I'll just say this too. When it comes to my deck, like I said, I want to have a good, I want to have my hand where I can always do something. So I look at this hand, right? This hand, like it's like I'm gambling. I'm really gambling when I use this deck. It's fun though. I have fun playing it, whether I win or lose, and that's what matters to me. So I can with trap tantalize and tune in this first hand. What I would do is I would discard the Black Goat's Laugh, and if my opponent ash it, okay. Now I'm -2. I would set Metaphor's Fusion and I would set Leon Coli. I'll probably lose this game. I ain't gonna lie. But then again, I would have Disruption in. I would have one piece of Disruption in Black Ghost Lab, you know? Or I'd probably. I'd maybe discard the Paleozoic and set the Black Ghost Laugh because if I activate the Black Ghost Laugh, then I can summon my Paleozoic. And I would set Metal Fusion as like a bait because my opponent doesn't know what I'm running. So they'll just be scared and most likely if they see a face down card. With this hand, I got 2 SECs. I have Foolish Burial, Goods, a Trap Trick, and a Prism. This may not seem as much, but this is actually an okay hand. Trap Trick will get me any one of my trap cards. SEC, I can just I would set one. I wouldn't set both. It depends. If I go second, I would set one. If I go first, I may set both so I can bait them. Because the thing about SEC is, it doesn't matter. They're not once per turn, so I can really stack them on the chains. I can activate one in the first chain, and then I'll activate one on the top of the chain, in case my opponent tries to do something, you know? And then once I activate that, I will use Lord of Heavenly Prison to set a grass, or set anything. Probably set a grass. Either set grass or set Wanted Seeker. And the same thing with Foolish Burial Goods. I would probably either send maybe a rollback, maybe a Black Ghost Laugh. I could send Metaphor's Fusion if I want to. So I have options. I could send the Vivitel just in case I play the Prism, and then once I summon him, my opponent tries to destroy him. So if I had Vivitel, I'll put it back in my hand, and then I'll set it. Uh, this hand is pretty disruptive. I could summon original Sin Keeper Diabells with Subdual. I could trap trick into anything. I got Rumor Cannon in the back standby. That's waiting to go off when my opponent gets too many cards in the field. And same thing. The fact that I have the Rumor Cannon and SCC in my hand is kind of insane because having both those cards in my hand for turn one, I could either use SCC to bait them, make them panic, and use their stuff. And then if they do get past it, I will just Daruma Cannon them. Or I could use Trap Trick into any one of them after the fact. And I have Lady. So Lady's gonna come out, and that's why I like Lady more, because she comes out when I use a trap card, or when my opponent uses a trap card, or a labyrinth card. It's just a free summon. That's why I like using it. That's why I had three, but three can sometimes be excessive. So I go back and forth of having two or three. But I'm running 60 cards, so that's why I had three, because I want to always have a lady on standby. Always. As long as I have a lady in my hand and when I build, I'm good. Because say my opponent does take control of it, or they banish it, I have another one right then and there. So I'm just gonna look at these hands real quick before I get out of here. This is an okay hand. I can use the furniture cards to set Big Welcome, and I will activate. I could either set Big Welcome, activate it the first turn is set with Temple of the Kings, or I could use Grass. If they don't have an Ash, and I have a 60 card pile, and they have a 40 card pile, I'm milling 25 cards. So these are gonna be my mills. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So looking at this field, this graveyard, I have a lot of disruption. Unfortunately, I don't have a. Did I mill a rollback? No, I didn't. That wasn't the best mill. And I at least want to have one rollback in the graveyard, but it's not the worst. So if this went through, I would have a shuffler, 2 lost wins. So with my opponent's special summons from the extra deck, both of them are going to come back because they're not a once per turn, and I can activate one to turn this set because of Temple of the Kings. I will also have Vivitel in my graveyard, which will set itself because if I have a face-up card, I can return that card to my hand. I will get a free draw from Metaphil's Fusion. I will have Severa in my graveyard, so that will negate any response from my simple spells and traps. So this this is a very good card in the graveyard. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one face down card you control, return it to the hand, then you can set one spell or trap you from your hand. So the thing about this card is that if I use the Rumor Cannon and I flip all my cards face down just like yours, say I flip down a Paleozoic. Remember, Paleozoics, they say when they're removed from the field, after they're brought back from the graveyard from a trap activation, they're unaffected by monster effects, but they get banished. So when I flip it face down, now the game doesn't recognize it as a Paleozoic. So when I use Subdual to return it to the hand, I can return it to the hand, and I can either keep it in my hand, or I can set it as a spell or trap from my hand. So it's very good with Paleozoics. That's why I think I only need two Paleozoics. I'm not exceed summoning, so I'm not worrying about using that engine that the Paleozoics have, but I can do it if I want to, but I don't have to do it. And what else do I have? I have a Black Ghost Laugh, which is good. I have an Eldritch. I can bring Eldritch back, but what would I get? What would I get away? Take away? Uh, hmm. Yeah, I probably wouldn't summon Eldritch, but I would definitely, if I use the furniture cards for Big Welcome, what I would do is I would definitely, well, no, I would have to use grass first, and then I would get that off. So, because my deck would be shuffled. So, if I did all my stuff first, if I got that free draw, what would that give me? That free draw for Metalfoes Fusion, if I don't use my furniture cards, I would get a Diabell's Original Sin Keeper. And because I have this in my graveyard, because I have uh Silvera in my graveyard, I can special summon her for free. So I have some good options. And then once, like I said, once my opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck, Lost Wind is gonna come back. And then that effect of Original Sin Keeper will proc, and I will just pop your stuff. And then if I use Big Welcome, my furniture cards will come back. One will be special summoned to the field. One will get placed in my hand, so I can always get rid of them. I can use Subdual to return one of my spell and traps or face down cards to my hand, and then toss it to the graveyard again with the furniture cards. This hand is it's pretty conditional. I got two rollbacks in my hand, so I would probably set one and keep one in my hand. I have Paleozoics, Morella, so I can always put some in the graveyard. I got Trap Tricks, got the Prism. He's gonna start something off. Uh, this hand is this is pretty conditional too. Like my deck is very conditional, but it's fun. I don't really care. It's fun to me. If I use this now, if they ash, in this case, if they ash this when I'm discarding the Simple Spells of Betrayal, that would be bad because I would actually need those two draws because I would just go -2. So let's see if they don't ash it. Now, if they don't ash it, this is actually pretty good. I would draw Diabell's Original Sin Keeper. I would draw Temple of the Kings. I would toss Silvera. No, I would toss Metalfoes Fusion. If they try to Imperm, Silvera will negate it. I will set Silvera again. I will set Lost Wind. I'll play Temple of the King. So now my stuff can be activated the same turn as set. And now I'll activate the Prism. And I'll say go. So now I got Disruption and a monster effect Disruption. I have an Omni card negate in Silvera and the Prism. And after I negate your first effect with Diabella Star, I'll bring her back by I would probably either toss. Wait a minute, I gotta draw a card from Metalfoes Fusion too. Wait, would I draw that card? I wouldn't draw that card. Whatever card I draw, I'll discard it anyway, or it'll probably get sent to the graveyard because of Diabella Star. So it really wouldn't matter. But this hand is actually pretty good. It's not bad. This hand is actually okay. I would. I would bait out the Ash, and it'll probably Ash it. I would use Winter Seeker. Then I would add Diabells. I would toss Severa to summon Diabells, set Severa, use Furniture and Mana Dragon, Journatron, send to the graveyard, summon the Big Welcome. So now I would have Diabells in 3 cards set and pass. Lost Wind, Big Welcome Labyrinth, and Severa. And the good thing about Diabells is that when she comes back, and I'll read this effect. So I gotta get out of here. During your opponent's turn, if this card is sent from its owner's hand or filled to the graveyard, you can send 1 card from your hand or fill it to the graveyard. And if you do, special summon this card. So say only time I can't activate the card I'm about to send to the graveyard, I think, is during the damage step. So say I negate your first card, I send her to the graveyard. The window when I activate her again in the graveyard, I special summon her back to the field, I can activate a trap card. So I would activate Big Welcome. That was set. Once I activate Big Welcome, I will summon Lady and summon her, bring her back to my hand. And then with Diabell Star, I have to send 1 card from my hand or field to the graveyard to special summon her again. I can send that Big Welcome to the graveyard to summon her. So it's like a free summon. The card I'm already using, I already used the effect, so I'm just gonna get rid of it. I can do all that in the same chain. I just can't do that during the damage step, or either the battle step or the damage step. One of them phases. Because if I do it during that time, they don't give me the option to activate a card. So that sometimes that used to screw me over, but I gotta get the timing right. And I can't use my Paleozoics to send them to the graveyard to get her effect off. She just won't come back. It will mess me up. So you just gotta know what to do with it. It can screw you over. But that's it for right now. I'll probably be back in about like an hour or something, or hour and a half, and I'll go over some games, and I'm gonna play some games too, because I want to get the diamond. I got the diamond for the first time last season, and it was a bit of a stretch, but I got there. So I'm at the last point of this season now, so I'm gonna try to get the diamond. But I'll be back, and I'll talk to y'all.